Detroit will be one for the record books. Detroit just does it different. Woodward Sports, your official Super Bowl or bust Lions network.
Kool-Aid over there on the sound. All right, well, here we are. Welcome to the Lions post-game show, live from Gillies in downtown Detroit. I mean, we were ready to do some special shit tonight at Gillies here. I ordered the champagne. I had the good stuff coming. The good stuff, Anson.
Oh, man.
We were going to drink some real champagne. But you know what? The Lions showed up, and they did not show out. I talked to you at halftime. I said if they lose this game, to me it came down to 2 plays. And then come the second half, it comes down to 3 plays, right? The Jared Goff fumble when they could have gone up 2 scores. The J-Mo off the fingertips when they could have gone up 2 scores. I think if you do that, it totally changes the perception of the game. And then, of course, 4th and 2, you got a chance to stop them, be down 3, getting the ball back with plenty of time left. And the Lions do something that they haven't done all season long. They beat themselves mentally. And that's what Spenny and I were arguing about at the end of the game. I don't mind turnovers. I don't mind things that happen within the flow of the game. I don't love them, obviously. It's not what you ever want, obviously. But the 12 men on the field, that was more indicative of where their heads were at in this game than I think the errant throws, the, J-Mo interception, the fumble, and all that stuff. And yeah, okay, everybody, Jared Goff did not have his best game. But if you dumb motherfuckers think that I'm giving up on 2 things, the Detroit Lions and Jared Goff, you got something else coming to you. The guy got us to 15-2. I don't give a shit about your Jared Goff and still love Jared Goff. Jared Goff, because we're going to be chanting it next year when they do the same damn thing.
Yeah. 28 straight quarters without a turnover for this team coming into today. And when you're playing flawless football and you're riding a high the way that you are, this team has obviously faced adversity. 5 picks against the Texans. They were able to come back. This is a much bigger stage. And the room for error is so much smaller. But you spoke to it in the beginning, right when you said it. These guys, they emotionally didn't seem in it the way that we've seen this Lions team. One of the plays for me was 3rd and 1. We're obviously going to go for it on 4th, and they choose to pass it, and ends up being a pick.
Not only did they pass it, they motioned Montgomery out of the backfield to leave Jared Goff back there by himself when you know it's going to be a pass. I don't mind them passing it, but at least have the threat of Monty, right?
How did you feel about Ben Johnson's game today? Because I'm not blaming AG. You gave them 3 turnovers that turned into touchdowns, and you turned the ball over on a drive that's about to score at the end of each half. That's 14 our way and 21 their way. I'm not putting that on AG.
See, and this is where, I'm putting it on everybody. It's Jared Goff's fault.
Yep.
It's AG's fault. It's Penei Sewell's fault. It's the offensive line's fault. It's the cornerback's fault. Terrion Arnold missed a play when he could have crashed down on 4th and 1. Jaden Daniels kept the ball and got around the edge on him.
Where's his eyes at?
Yeah, there's just so many things. So that's why I'll never put this on one man, because this was a team effort. You let up 45 points. That's tough. But we knew that coming in. I didn't expect them to stop. I thought this was going to be an up-and-down ball game.
Sure.
But when you turn the ball over, it gives them the extra possessions, and the Lions were chasing all game long. But damn, man, to put 12 men on the field when you could get the ball back, only down 3 points, to me, that was just the biggest mishap of the game. And really,
very indicative of just this team's how they showed up today.
Well, we fought about this early in the season, right? Because we were running down. You're like, who's gonna beat the Lions? This was week 10. Who's gonna beat the Lions the rest of the way? And I told you, nobody on earth can beat the Lions unless what, Anson?
The Lions beat themselves.
What happened today?
SOL happened today, baby.
Do you think the Commanders are a better football team?
Today they were, but they are not a better football team.
No, they're
not. The Lions certainly beat themselves. You've got 3 touchdowns one that's a pick six, and 2 more that directly lead to 14 more points. That's 21 points.
Yep.
And if you don't turn the ball over at the end of each half, that's 6 points your way. And then one of those touchdowns would have been at least 3 points for us. The Lions absolutely beat themselves today.
They had control of the game until that first quarter fumble, man. They went down, obviously 3 and out first time, but then you get the stop on defense on 4th down. Then you go down like it's fucking nothing, put up 7. Then you hold them to 3, you get the ball back, and it's like, oh, this is the chance. And that fumble, man, that fumble.
But you know, at the point when Goff got hit and then goes out, and then somehow we get Teddy Bridgewater in, J-Mo takes an end around to the house, and then you see Jared Goff come back in. You finally felt the crowd get into it, because the crowd, let's be real, man, we've been talking about the 12th man all week long, and the crowd got taken out of this game a lot of different times. They tried to get back into it, but, man, there was just so many different things. I got to say, that at that point when I saw Jared Goff come back onto the field, after J-Mo had taken that end around, I'm like, we're good.
Yep. In the third quarter, I told Neil we were good. But you did hear Tom Brady address the crowd in this game.
Yeah.
And you haven't heard that all season long from any national commentator. It was always, I can't hear, it's crazy in here. Tom Brady's like, you can feel the tension. You can feel. And this is where we talked about it 2 weeks ago.
New money, baby.
Well, new money fans, but also, do you think the bye week was beneficial? Or do you think taking that loss to Minnesota, coming into the playoff with some vengeance? Because we talked about this.
I feel you now. I love that now.
Right. You would love to play last week. It's
look
still
at the
been on
Chiefs
the roll.
today. The Chiefs were trying to give it away too, you know?
Yeah.
You take a
See you tomorrow,
whole week
Spenny?
off.
Or Monday.
Much love, Spenmo. You take a whole week off and you get rusty. These teams, it's not like a typical bye week in the middle.
We're coming back though.
Yeah.
It's not like a typical bye week in week 8 where you just kind of come back and everybody's playing at the same level. This is the playoffs. And anybody that won last week, they had to fight and win a game on such a high level that they come in carrying that confidence and carrying that level of play. Lions looked rusty. Come out with a 3 and out. Obviously got a huge 4th down stop. And I'll tell you, Stick, if they don't get that 4th down stop in the first quarter, this game might be even worse.
Yeah, it could be, but they did.
Yeah,
But so here's the deal. We got the Super Chats open, and you know what? We're men. We're ready to take the beating from all the trolls that are jumping in the Super Chats, but here's the deal. You motherfuckers got to pay for this. If you're just sending $2 or $5, I'm not reading your comment if it's negative.
Yeah.
If you want to get a negative comment on the air tonight, me and Anson will gladly read them, but it's got to be at least $20. If you're not spending $20, take your broke ass home, as Fergie would say. Because I am not dealing with this tonight. If you want to send a Super Chat and talk some shit, much happy to do it if you send $20 or more. Real Lions fans, if you want to give some good critiques, you guys can send whatever you want. We appreciate that. The phone lines will be open. We're about to get the phone lines open. Kool-Aid is giving me the thumbs up, so we'll start taking calls because I want to hear from everybody what your reactions are, how you're feeling right now. And you know what? I caught a lot of shit. I'm catching a lot of shit for my little video that I sent out to the Packers fans.
Yep.
Packers, you cannot hate on people in the divisional round because you were not. So don't even talk to me. You're still a poverty franchise. Your team still sucks. You still overpaid Jordan Love. So I don't want to hear it from any Packers fan. And if you're on my Twitter right now, thank you for the follow and the interaction. I appreciate you. But yeah, this is it, man. You got to take the bullet. It sucks because you put so much into a season, right? The ups, the downs, and this year there were 2 downs and 15 ups. And then all of a sudden in 1 week, boop, gone. But this is why Dan Campbell last year, what did he say after that San Francisco game?
Never know
it's
if you
hard
get
to get back to this point. You never know if it's Super Bowl or bust. It was a bust.
It certainly was. And you know, we can talk about our window. This team, on paper, will be better than the team they put on the field today, week 1 of next year.
Oh, yeah.
But we're not that excited about September when we're feeling this type of way in January. That being said, Tom Brady said it really well, and it kind of echoes the sentiments of what we heard from Dan Campbell last year. Your window ends and closes at the end of this season. That's how he feels.
Right.
And that needs to be the that's your mind state as a winner. And Dan brought that to this team. He kind of put some shock into the fans and the followers of this great Detroit Lions franchise, and he scared us. But now we're looking at the same damn thing again this time. We're looking forward to next year. We're talking about windows now. Listen, I know that you guys are expecting me to push out SOL in your face right now. This is a new Lions franchise. They have a window that's great coming next year.
I've been waiting for
and
it.
the year after that. I already said it once.
The chat's waiting for
Homie,
it.
if there's not a more SOL loss that we could have had, I don't know what it could be. I mean, 45 points we've given up 2 damn times to the Redskins in the playoffs since 91. 90-41, these guys have owned us in the playoffs. I thought this was a revenge game.
So, SOL?
For one more year.
Fuck, I want that to go.
Yeah, I do too.
Woodward Sports, man. How you doing? Yeah, appreciate you. Right there. That's that one. We got one over there. Yeah, people still partying at Gillies, and it's still going to be a good time. It's still Saturday night in fucking Detroit, right? We're still going to have a good time in downtown. Still going to head across to some
bars. I have
bars.
A rave tonight that I'm throwing.
Let's go to your rave.
I may not go. I'm so sick about it. I'll be honest with you, bro.
Waffle Cone Taco in the chat. $5 super chat. Thank you for that. Real fans of Lions, $5. Any haters, if you want us to read your shit talk, $20. This is the kind of game that can set back an entire franchise. You got to lock in now and get ready for next year.
I don't think it's going to do that.
You don't think so?
No. The mental strength of this team, it's unprecedented. And there was a lot of talk in those last 4 minutes. Like, this was a stage that the Lions set for themselves that they've never been on. We've never had the bye week in week 1. We've never had home games throughout the playoffs. We've never been the hunted. And unfortunately, we were able to handle that really well to the tune of 15 wins during the regular season. But whether it's by the bye week that they got rusty or whether it was just a bad day for Jared Goff, these guys are going home. And I don't think it's a killer for the franchise. But all of these new money fans that hopped on the bandwagon that got Amon-Ra jerseys for Christmas, we might lose some of them for at least 8 weeks next year.
And that's okay. They weren't real fans anyways. It's SOL with a new paint job. Doug R188 in the super chat with that one.
You ain't wrong.
Just a fan. You don't need Washington fans to talk shit. We have SOL fans talking shit. You support the Lions or you don't. If you don't, go support some other team. Lions fans always. Just a fan gets it. And you know what? You can replace Lions with Jared Goff with me. You don't want to support Jared Goff? Go find another fucking team. Go ahead. Because you know what? I saw Easy jump ship, and
he was out of here at halftime.
Yeah, you know what? I don't want to attack Easy, but, there's a lot of guys that he was hyping up, saying he got right. That kind of got burnt tonight, too. So if we really want to talk about that, but I'm not that type of fan. I'm not going to throw other people under the bus because I know it's a team thing. Let's see. Little owner. Damn shame how the Lions played tonight, but fuck, I'm proud of our boys this season. See you next year, fellas. One pride. Yeah. Appreciate that one. Let's see.
Best regular season in Lions history. And we talked many times, Sam, about taking a minute to smell the Honolulu Blue Roses because
enjoy it.
It was a fantastic run.
Oh, hell yeah.
Unfortunately,
best
today,
season I've ever seen.
Man. Yeah.
We are not ready at all. Ben is staying. Watch. Made in the USA say that. And that's something that I've been picking out. That's something that I've been talking about for a while is that Ben Johnson, he could be our guy. Like, he could be the guy that just loves his job so much and doesn't want to be that man. Dan is now on the clock, according to Killer Panda. The seats should begin to start warming up. Also, Jared Goff is looking overpaid already.
For one game? That's where 2 games this year he looked bad.
That's where you leave me. You fans are in turncoats. F this fan base. You are frauds. Commanders wanted it more, period. Single dads club. Well, I can't pretty sure I know why you're single.
I can't argue with them, though. I'm in the third quarter, end of the third quarter. I go outside, and there's way too many people on the streets of Detroit coming out of Ford Field. And hey, you've talked about it a lot of times. We've said that that label, the new money Lions fans.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of people that are bandwagon fans that didn't know what this tasted like. I'm in my fantasy baseball chat, and the one guy is like, my kids finally know what it's like to be a Lions fan.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like, all these people expecting us to shrink against a loss. I sat here through 0-16.
We went to those games that
and
season.
I was still
Silverdome.
like I went through it. I watched Johnny Morton do the fucking worm in the end zone on the last game of the season to prevent them from going winless one year. Like, I've been through this stuff. A playoff loss, it sucks. But you know what? This was the best regular season I've ever seen the boys play.
By far.
Do you think next year they're going to be a bad team? I literally said this morning to my wife, my beautiful wife, Corey.
Shout out Dr. Day.
I said, you know what? For the foreseeable future, the Lions will be good. I'm not saying they're going to be great.
10-win
They
team,
will
at
never
least.
be dog shit for the next 5 years. And I'm happy with it because they're going to be in the fight every single year. And guess what? Couple years they're going to get them knockouts. I got to get to some of these super chats.
Please
the
do.
shit-talking super chats, you got to spend over $20 or I'm not reading them. I'm telling you right now. Like, we can have fun with this. We'll take our medicine. It's football. It's not serious.
We gotta.
It's not like the Green Bay morons up there. Rich Mahogany, fire Campbell, trade Goff. I don't want to hear the Jared Goff chants ever again. 4 turnovers in the biggest game of the year. Sorry, not elite. Never, ever forget. And then we got History Speaks with $20, 20 pounds actually, so they're probably in London. Offense needs to run it back next year. Defense needs to get healthy with a better scheme. Honestly, Commanders were the better team, in part because the defense was so injured. Listen, I'm not going to sit here and talk about injuries, and we know they're a real thing. You understand it, but the Lions were able to do what the Lions did all season long with battling those injuries. So I don't want to make this an excuse show. This was about one game. This was about a one-season game, and the Lions went 0-1 when you couldn't afford to do it. They made mental mistakes when you couldn't afford to do it. They turned the ball over when you couldn't afford to do it. And they couldn't get home on defense when you couldn't afford to do it.
Yeah.
Media talked a lot. Oh, no, I'm not reading that, working man. You broke ass. Send some more money if you want me to read that, broke ass. Easy does it. Okay. Sorry. Crayons for breakfast. Always a good read. Love crayons for breakfast in the chat. Lions have done more these last 2 years than the rest of my life combined. I'll take this over 0-16 any year. Honolulu blue, still my favorite color. Crayons for breakfast. You get it. Let's take some phone calls. Let's get some phone calls rocking. The phone number is 313-552-6322. 313-552-6322. What? Just give me the thumbs up? Yep. Can you drop that in the chat, or I'll put it in the chat? 313-552-6322. We want to get your phone calls. And don't forget, Super Chat's coming in. Lions lose this game. Let up 45 points and only put up 31.
Yeah, to the Lions fans that have just come aboard recently in the last few years, listen. If you've never been dumped, if you've never gotten broken up with and been heartbroken, it's because you were never in love. And the fact of the matter is, for the greater part of 20-plus years, there's nothing to love about this franchise. What they have done over the last 3 years, and even though the run got ended short this year, no one should be jumping ship. And if you are, you've literally only been a fan for a year or two. Because what? And I know I'm saying SOL, and this was an SOL loss. This was the ghost of Bobby Lane coming out and grabbing our quarterback. But at the same time, this is absolutely one of the best franchises in the NFL, not just this year, not last year, but going forward. They've gotten it right. They've changed the culture. They've brought in elite young talent. And this team, Sam, they're not going anywhere.
No, they're definitely not. History Speaks once again, dropping $20 super chat. Goff is the best quarterback in the history of the franchise, and I stand by him. This is a low point, and it will prove to be a part of Jared Goff / the Detroit Lions story. They will learn from this. And I think so. I mean, listen, they carried a chip on their shoulder this year. What do you think is going to happen next year? And, God, I can't believe we already got to talk about next year.
I mean, what does Aiden Hutchinson mean in this game, though? Because it can be just one guy when you're a difference maker like him. Not having him, and again, this isn't a show for excuses, but the fact that these guys had 28 guys out and 18 currently on IR. I mean,
yeah, and you lose Meek in the game.
In the game, and then we had a couple other guys go down in game. Brian Branch in and out of the game.
When the rookie Morris was our starting safety for a couple plays, it was not a good look.
Scary stuff.
Daryl Zill. Am I sad and drinking? Absolutely. But am I proud of the Lions for the season that they managed to put together despite being beat all to hell this year? And then a bunch of hearts. David Villarreal, this was one of the only chances for the Cinderella story. All love for Goff, though. Another super chat, Aura Fitness. I love my team. I love Goff. We will regroup, get healthy, and get back at it. Stacy? How the hell? Stacy, hard pass. Goff was Goffle. Okay, well, it's only $9, so I'll read only that
half
part.
Of it.
Yeah, $20 if you want to shit talk us tonight on the postgame show. It's the Lions postgame show live on Woodward Sports. We are at Gillies, downtown Detroit, an absolutely beautiful bar.
Loved it here.
Oh, so cool.
Shout out Zach K, our boy.
And let's go to the phones. We're going to go to the phones right after we talk to Steve Robertson, baby. You got that camera ready for him, Chase?
Not Arizona Steve today.
Yes.
It's Detroit Steve today.
It's Rochester Steve
That's
coming
right.
in.
Awesome.
You made it all the way from Arizona. You flew in to come to a Woodward Sports watch party. There were some electric moments. Not as exciting as we've had throughout the season. But how you feeling, man? You've been with us all season long on the postgame show.
You know, the word that comes to mind, I've been trying to process this day, this evening, and the word that comes to mind is gratitude. I'm super grateful to have a team to root for every single week that just seems to find a way to win, find a way to make it exciting. They're the most exciting team to watch. We have electrifying players, we have big plays, all that stuff. So I'm actually excited to be a fan versus the last 20 years, you know.
Yeah, when you were hoping for 8-8. We don't have to hope for 8-8 anymore. Next year is going to be another playoff appearance.
Honestly, we were just hoping for a team to watch, to be excited about, and to, like, enjoy the game. It's not just like,
that's where I was back in the day when I was a fan. I just listen, I just want the Lions to be 8-8, so when I turn on my TV on Sunday, I don't know if they're going to win or lose.
Yeah, I
that's
just don't want to turn it off at halftime, you know?
Right.
But I've been kind of a stickler. The brand new Lions, Anson, I don't have a leg to stand on right now, but
that's how he greeted me. He's like, hey.
Well, you're Mr. SOL. I mean, and to your credit, it's held true for 2 years, and I
don't
fucking
want
hate
that
it.
credit.
I want to throw you off the bridge.
I don't want it at all, bro.
Yeah.
Well, the same old Lions, they never had an opportunity to blow like this. This is the brand new Lions breaking
the old
our
Lions
hearts.
never had an opportunity to suck like this.
Yeah, the brand new
We're
Lions.
sucking on the main stage now.
They get
We're
to
the
break
bottom, bitch.
They get to break our hearts as the number 1 seed this time. You know, but no, I mean, yeah, the same old Lions didn't make the playoffs.
Yeah.
They didn't win on Thanksgiving. We're like, oh, it's not Thanksgiving till the Lions lose every year.
Right.
And you know, the last couple of years, the culture's changed. Like you guys were saying, the culture's changed. Everything's changed. Everything's shifted to the point where I'm going, hey, we have an above-average team to root for now. And it's kind of like rooting for the Wings back in the day, you know, 10 years ago. That was like, hey, we took it for granted. We're making the playoffs every single year. We took it for granted until it was gone. And I'm hoping that we can get the Lions to that point where we got a solid fan base. We're making it's not even a question, are we going to make the playoffs anymore?
I got to get to some of these super chats real quick. Tip my cap to the commies. They played perfect game. We're a good team. We got punked. Welcome to the real NFL teams. It happens. It can happen again. That was from our man Byrne. I know I saw one from my man Paul Miller. I lost it, though, so shout out to Paul Miller for dropping a super chat, one of the OGs here at Woodward Sports. So Goff has lost all the goodwill of fans. The team took a step backwards. And that's the thing, like, man, how quick they turn, Anson.
Oh, they do.
Let's see. Toby W. Man, it was a great season, but unfortunately nobody nationally remembers the regular season. All they will talk about for years to come is how the Lions flop. Not SOL, but it feels like a step back. Go Wings, go Pistons. How dare you mention another sports team while we're talking about the Lions? Shitty Pistons fans all saying that.
So let me ask.
No,
go ahead.
no, I just...
You got more?
So I'm trying to word this correctly, right? Because the story's being written for the Detroit Lions. It's still being written. The Bills from a couple years ago, they didn't get it done, right? San Francisco didn't get it done. And what starts to become the narrative for them?
Lamar Jackson hasn't gotten it done.
Not good in big games.
That's right.
Yeah, I mean, and that's honestly one of the most brutal things that's going to happen this weekend is either Lamar Jackson or Josh Allen is going to be looked at as a poor quarterback.
That's right.
After tomorrow night.
Right.
And today, the Lions are looked at as a team that can't handle the spotlight. They lost with a big lead in the NFC Championship game. They had home field advantage here. So last year it was, okay. This year, okay, now we've added another piece to that little stack that people want to say. I don't want this to become the Lions' story. So next year, the Lions have to get it done. Period.
So let me ask you a real hard question, and I'd love to hear, the chat's thoughts on this. If the Lions make the playoffs and win 10-plus games, 2025 through the rest of this decade, but don't win a Super Bowl, how do you feel about this team? I mean,
it's a failure. And the team's not a failure. They failed their mission. Is that a good way to put it?
Exactly how you put it.
I don't think this season was not a failure, but they failed the mission.
Can I interject here?
Always.
Okay. We lost as a team a total of 3 games. We were a 3-win team not very long ago.
True.
We lost 3 games.
Yeah, and it is a complete flip of where we once were. This franchise is BNL, but SOL still haunts them. And we saw that today.
Well, my goal is just to hear you say BNL.
Well, and listen, if you look at this franchise and you look at the leaders of it, you look at the guys they're drafting, the guys they're developing, just their mentality on the field. Even today, they still didn't give up. They were still pushing towards the end. But my worry is like, are there some crazy Boston Red Sox type ghosts over this team for another decade or 3? I mean,
no, because
the Boston Red Sox are there winning pennants all the time, but they can't win a championship. And if this team wins me 10, 12, 14, 15 games each year next 5-6 years, but doesn't get the mission accomplished, man.
But that's the thing, man. Only one team gets it done every year. That's it. 1 of 32. And you know what? The Kansas City Chiefs, they got a chance to three-peat, so that means 3 years have gone by with only one team. Like, it's hard to win a Super Bowl. It really is. And you know what? For everybody that's like, oh, you guys talk too much shit. No, this is when you talk the shit when you're winning. Because guess what Commanders fans are doing right now?
Talking shit.
Oh. But could they lose next week, Anson? So shouldn't they be humble? No, you talk your shit because you won. Yep. The Lions won all season, so we talked shit all season. That's how this works, okay? Like, I don't understand why people, you guys got cocky. You're damn right you get cocky when you're 15-2. You're damn right you talk some shit because you're allowed to. You know why? Because you're winning. Let's go to the phones right now. Kool-Aid is on the phones. He's got us lined up. I got some idiot trying to call our Facebook constantly on my phone right now.
You did put your number out there.
No. They're trying to call the Woodward Facebook page, and it's connected to my phone, and it's obnoxious as shit. But let's get to some of these phones. Kool-Aid, you text me the numbers. Hold on. This guy's messing me all up. 701. 701 is the area code. Let's get to you. You are on the post-game show live at Gillies. What did you think of the game?
Well, obviously it sucked. First off, I'd like to say I absolutely love you guys. Everything you've done all season long. From a fan a long ways away from where you're at. Thank you for everything you've done.
Hey, thank you, man.
We appreciate you, brother.
But this game here, you got to see the lack of speed on the defense. I mean, no matter how good you coach these guys, when Carlton Davis is down, you got to think of the backup like Rodrigo, Barnes, Hutch, Ali McNeil's out. There's so much speed that was missing on the defense, and against somebody that's as fast as their quarterback, it took its toll by the end of the. You could see it throughout the game. You know, and it was in a way, the game almost played out identically to a game around here, NDSU versus Colorado. You got to see Shadur Sanders, who was physically gifted. NDSU outplayed them thematically, and they won because obviously they had more speed on offense. And that's how I felt our defense was limited this game, and that's the reason why we lost. Not necessarily to Glenn's coaching or anything. I thought he did a pretty good job for the most part, but they just had too much speed in too many places, and we could not slow them down.
Yeah, those are all great points.
Yeah, you give their offense 5 extra possessions, and you're asking a defense that's already depleted to be on the field that much more and come up with big stops against a great young quarterback and a team that's full of speed. You hit the nail on the head, my man. This team was down speed on the defensive end. They had a lot of guys, 3 or 4 guys on the defensive end that maybe not were gone for the game today, but went in and out. It messed with the continuity of the defense. Honestly, like, you give any team the ball 5 extra times, and it's going to be really damn tough to beat them.
A realistic one with the super chat. It depends on how you talk shit. It can be demeaning and crass, or it'll bring bad karma to the team. Always talk shit with respect. Listen, me and Neil laugh about this, but the people are like, you brought bad karma to the Lions. That doesn't exist. Do you think the Lions lost because of anything I said or Neil Rule said?
I don't know, butterfly effect, bro.
Get the fuck out of here. Like, if that was the case, the Lions wouldn't have been a dumpster fire my whole life, right?
Kool-Aid laughing over here.
Like, the Lions wouldn't have sucked my whole life if I had control. But now all of a sudden I have control? Shut the hell up. You talk your shit the way you want to talk your shit when your team is 15-2.
The only pushback I had for y'all was, let's wait till we got a ring before we start running our mouths.
Why?
Because, man, we ain't got nothing. As much as you're right,
the Vikings don't have a ring,
I get,
and all they do
but
is
the
this.
Packers do. And I'm not trying to put ourselves in the same grouping as the Vikings. I'm sorry.
The Bears have one from 87 years ago that they hold on to. Like, this is where they run their mouth.
More than us, dog. It's more than us.
Hey, listen, I got no respect. I got no respect for
Vikings
fans.
I ain't got no respect for the Bears or the Vikings, but talking shit to the Packers is a bold move, my friend. I'm going to be honest.
Hey, look, there's no such thing as a Packers fan. Packers couldn't handle being Lions fans.
What do they got, 4 or 5?
I don't care.
Clearly.
225 area code, 225. You think I give a shit about what those
it's very clear you don't.
cheeseheads eat? I don't care. You are on the postgame show with Stick and Anson. It's Woodward Sports. We're live at Gillies downtown. Who's this and where are you calling from?
This is Ian calling from Arkansas.
From where?
Arkansas.
Oh, welcome.
All right, Ian, what'd you think of the game, man? What were you doing? How'd it go? Tell us the whole story about tonight.
Well, first off, I just want to I was born in Michigan, but I'm right now with a bunch of cowgirl fans, and so it's going to be hell for the next. But I really think that it was a complete failure from the whole team. I think that, honestly, injury. We lost the Meek of the game plan, and we didn't. Don't have.
Yeah, sorry, his phone's breaking up, but I thought I was hearing a little bit of what he was saying.
Yeah, we don't want to make it about excuses, but ultimately, it's a testament to this defense that they even were able to get this far and to be able to win 15 games. But again, man, when you have that many guys out on the defensive side of the ball, and then you gift time of possession through 5 turnovers to an offense like that, it is an absolute prescription for a loss.
Yeah, it's tough. And listen, Dan Campbell's up there. He's giving his press conference right now.
He's hot, too. Look at that red face, man. He walked off. He's not happy.
You put in I mean, that guy puts in more than 18 weeks. But you put in 18 weeks during a regular season, and it's over with a blink of an eye to a Commanders team that you know you're better than. You know you'd beat 9 times out of 10, but this was not the night. You turned it over. You had, God, just going back to that Montgomery shifting out of the backfield, 3rd down, Lions are ready to go up 2 scores, and all of a sudden, a fumble. Just, uncharacteristic, and then Goff sails another one that gets returned.
And he had a short route there for a 3rd down still, man. I mean, there's just so many things that were so out of character for this team today. And I think all Lions fans thought after we saw a little bit of it in the first half, we were going to clean it up in the second half. And I'll tell you, Stick, if we play a turnover-free second half, this game might be in overtime.
Yeah, listen, the Lions, I'm telling you, that 4th and 2 with 12 men on the field, they get that stop,
man.
You're down 3 points, you got the ball, you got the momentum, game over, close the fucking door. We're all celebrating here at Gillies, we're popping champagne, it's a fun night. But that to me, we hadn't seen that. Someone put in the chat during the watch party, that's Jim Caldwell shit.
Yeah, no doubt.
And I love Jim Caldwell, but that was the type of shit that would constantly bite Jim Caldwell in the ass from taking it to the next level. 12 men on the field on 4th and 2 when you need the stop to save your life. And there's coaches on the sideline screaming, but they don't call a timeout before the offense gets in formation. That was something we haven't seen.
Bush League, man.
That was something we have. Dan Campbell's so disciplined. They're so detail-oriented. Every game this season, they have come out, and that type of stuff, we've laughed at other teams for. They're like, 12 men on the field, idiots.
I know, right?
I remember when that was the Lions, and tonight it was tonight of all night.
And over.
Tonight of all nights do that shit.
The Jaden Daniels scramble on the 4th and 2 when Terrion had contained
he crashed.
and just took his eyes off the play for a split second. You know he learned his lesson there, but that's not the moment you want that lesson learned. You know?
And he made up for it later in the game because he read that with Ertz, I believe, and was able to take him down. But
he's going to be a stud.
I'm not worried about Terry. And that's the thing. I'm not worried about the future of the Lions. I'm worried about the right now of everybody, the mental health of the SOL fans who are jumping off the bridge, and just everybody that just, I don't know, the people that have never endured what we've had to endure as real Lions fans.
This might be
hurts them.
Backbreaker.
Yeah, they're already going to jump ship.
Oh, man, hit their vape and get on your phone. TikTok gone in a day, baby.
Yeah, my mom just texted me. Dan Campbell at the podium says it's all his fault, and he was crying.
It looked like he was pretty upset. Hey, before we get to the super chats and more phone calls.
Jared Goff.
There were 2 records set once again by the Lions today.
Okay, yeah, Jahmyr Gibbs.
600-plus yards of offense from both teams in the first half of a playoff game.
Unreal.
And then 42 points in the second quarter is the most points scored in a playoff game ever.
Yeah, and Jahmyr Gibbs.
But that's where the game was lost the second quarter, no?
Yeah, I'd say so. No, because you had a chance to get the ball back down 3. I just keep going back to that very moment. Because all the bullshit that happened before it, all the turnovers, all the misreads, all of that wouldn't have mattered if they got that ball back. All of it wouldn't have mattered. Because if I ask you, Lions down 3 with the ball, 7 minutes left in the game.
W.
Exactly. But that one play, I don't know why. I don't know why.
It turns it basically into a 14, 17-point-ish game instead of a one-score game. But again, man, all these turnovers, all these little mistakes kept this game from being a one-score game and just kept littering it into that kind of, you felt the crowd in here. Shout out to Gillies. Shout out to our boy Zach Cashmola. Everybody in here. This was an awesome, awesome place to have this game. But you could feel it. You could feel the nerves, man. And that was the problem.
Gotta play loose.
After that second quarter, things got so damn tight, and you never watched this team get loose.
They got to thank Dan from Minnesota. He just texted me and said, thanks for taking my call. Love you guys on the post game, even on these days. I'm a metal fabricator, and this shit gets me through the day when it's -20 here in Minnesota. Thank you for everything you do. If y'all ever need anything made out of metal, let me know. I have a bunch of items to send players. but maybe make a few for you, even Maz.
We need a Woodward metal logo that's dope as hell.
Yes, one that we could bring like here on our live broadcast.
And maybe with a little bit of each of the 4 logos kind of created inside of the Woodward logo.
Life with Chris with the super chat. Changes need to be made, and that's the sad truth. A lot of these guys will not be here next season. Billy Petts with the super chat.
Hey, Billy Petts, my boy, Inspiration Clothing, my man. What's up, baby?
This team brought the community together and changed the culture of Detroit overall, made us believe in the future more than football. Go Lions.
Hey, shout out to Billy Petts, Inspiration Clothing. He has won back-to-back Apparel of the Year in the state of Michigan. He's my boy. He's great people. He has been loving Woodward Sports. But before you get to that next one, I do want to ask, which assistant coach hurt their case the most today?
None of them.
Neither?
It doesn't matter what they did.
You don't think so at all?
No, they would have had to come out and literally murder someone on the field to hurt their coaching stock. That's been established. There's no way someone's like, oh, God, I'm not going to hire Ben Johnson after he put up the 4th highest offense ever in the history of the NFL.
But does it change either of Ben or AG's mind in wanting to get it done here in Detroit?
That's a different question.
Yes, it is.
That's a different question. Dahani in the chat, thank God I have you guys for therapy on the way home. 4th quarter at 3 minutes and 13 seconds, the announcer called 3rd down, and it was so quiet it echoed.
I know.
Sums up tonight. And, let's be honest, there was a lot of talk about pricing out the crazy fans, pricing out the Spencers.
The Silverdome fans were not there tonight.
You could have had a bunch of drunk Spencers there, but it's a bunch of dudes that can afford the $5,000 tickets, and not knocking anybody that went. Of course, I'd go if I could as well. But the ruckus, crazy fans.
No.
And
their nose were bleeding if they were even in the house.
Yeah. Let's see. Thunder, that's not enough money, you broke motherfucker. If you want to talk shit
what did he say, like $1.99?
Yeah, $1.99. What is this, your mom's house in Minnesota? $1.99 won't get you shit here, bro.
Do they use Canadian dollars in Minnesota? Maybe that's
They use whatever. But Thunder, if you want me to read your shit talking, just like anybody else that's wanting to troll the chat, it's $20, okay? I'm not going to read $1.99 shit talking tonight. $20, pay for it, and we'll say whatever you want. Let's get back to the phones. Who else we got on there? Let's go, Kool-Aid. 2 what? 236. 236.
I hear you.
236, you're on the phone. Who's this? Where are you calling from?
I'm guessing that's me?
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah, echo. Yeah, I'm up here in Canada. I became I'm not a bandwagon fan. I became a fan because of Campbell getting hired. And I won't get into all that. I want to focus just on today's games.
Let's do it. What'd you think?
All right. Okay, first of all, like usual, the refs repeatedly helped the Chiefs against whoever they're playing, which in this case was the Texans. And for this game, yes, the refs against the Lions repeatedly, although there was a too many men, which was deserved, and there was a not face mask that our Lions players should have got a. Was it backwards here?
Of that, we got a first down when it shouldn't have been.
We got lucky.
Yeah. We didn't deserve. Mind you, there were goals calls against us, and there was also non-calls against the other team. But I'm not going to focus on that either. So there's 7 reasons why we lost. I just mentioned number 1, which is not the main reason, but it's the one that got the other team over the hump. Second reason was injuries. I don't need to focus on that.
Okay, I was going to say, let's run through these 7 then.
Quick, bro.
Okay. Aaron Glenn was distracted with job interviews instead of preparing the defense for this game. Won't focus on that either. Number 4, our O-line is only the 12th best against pass rushes and the 16th best for run defense. I can focus on that a bit later if you want.
5.
Yeah, let's keep going, buddy. List these out.
Number 5, the Skins' offensive line is 9th best against pass rush and the 2nd best for run protection. For run for protection.
6.
Okay, number 6, the Skins' pass rush is 7th best. And number 7, our pass rush is 25th best.
All right. I mean, that's quite a lot of reasons. I mean, it's well thought out.
Yeah, and I mean, hey, coming in, we knew a lot of these things.
This is not based on PFF. This is based on Beef Analytics from ESPN.
Okay.
I appreciate it. I thought he brought up some good points.
Oh, yeah, they're all good points. I mean, and we talked about a lot of these things coming in, and when you look at the body of work that he mentioned in all 7 of those points, realistically, that team, the team that created those stats, a lot of those guys weren't there today. Those stats were created over the first 5 and 8 and 12 and 17 weeks. So to come in here today with a team that actually matched up well with us, everybody's focused on what, the 30th worst or 26th worst rush defense. Hey, I wouldn't have minded if the Lions ran the damn ball all day long today, because the only problem we had was turning the ball over through the air.
What do you think about his point about the coordinators using the bye week to go take job interviews?
See, I talked about this last week actually with McCarty. I was on the
Big D Energy.
Big D. Yeah, and so
Big D Energy every day, 11 to 1 on the Woodward Sports Network.
Listen, if you're a team that's looking for a new head coach and you have to wait an extra week or 2 or 3 to interview a guy, that's the way it should be, because you know you're getting one of the best guys out there. The guys on the 4 and 13 teams, they're not getting interviews, but they're available. And the fact that you're pulling guys away, the fact that the media is talking about it, the fact that they're asking them questions about it, you can say these guys are dialed in, but the fact that you're answering a question about another franchise instead of your team coming up this Saturday or Sunday, it's absolutely a distraction. I think that the NFL should look at curtailing interviews until a team is eliminated. You want one of the best guys? You got to wait.
But isn't it kind of on the guy, too, to be like, hey, I'm in the middle of a playoff Super Bowl run right now. I'll call you back in 2 weeks.
You really want me?
If you're not willing to wait, move the fuck on.
Exactly.
And listen, I'll never hold it against anybody who's trying to raise their standard and their position in life.
Sure.
I will never do that. But there is time and place. And I wasn't going to bitch about it, but it was one of those things where, Louis C.K.,
Yeah. There's credibility. There's credibility
what?
to his point.
You're telling me that the 3 hours you spent in that interview, 8 hours you spent traveling to get there, couldn't have been better spent game planning going into this week?
100%, brother.
Especially now that we're talking hindsight, right? Especially now that we're talking hindsight. Another great one, Niv Ren, $9.99 super chat. Terrian's season was a bust. 0 interceptions, amongst the worst cornerbacks per PFF. We need some more for him to overcome injuries. Why is no one talking about this? Well, we are now, because you brought it up in the Super Chat, and if you want something for us to talk about, make sure you Super Chat it. If you're a Lions fan, we'll get to it no matter what you send. If you're a troll and you want to trash our team, I'll read it for $20. But Terrion Arnold, what do you think?
Well, how many corners that are drafted in the 20s of the first round have had to step up and be a number 2 and oftentimes number 1 defensive back on a championship-level team? All right? This guy overcame a lot of PI calls early on in the season, but he kept getting asked to play the 1, 2, and 3 corner situation. Hey, did he get beat? Did he look like a rookie at times? Absolutely. But this guy's been forged through fire, in my opinion, and I watched him improve throughout the season. Yes, PFF doesn't love him. Yes, he doesn't have the numbers to back up, is this guy a future star at the corner position? But what I've seen out of his growth and what I've seen out of him have to be forced into without a Carlton Davis, tonight without a Meek Robertson, without safeties, all the injuries that these guys have had, I'm a fan of Terrion. I think that he'll be fine.
Yeah, and let's be honest. I mean, Carlton Davis went down. Amik went down. Terrion's on an island tonight. The biggest thing is, God, they're showing that 12-man on the field play. My God, down 3 points with 14 minutes left to go in the fourth. You get that stop, you win the game. I seriously believe you get the stop, you win that game. But They didn't, and we got to move on from that. But that, to me, that's the Vildor face mask play of last year.
It's the emotional just destruction of everything you had going.
And then why we having J-Mo throw passes?
Why that? I mean, listen. I asked you the question before, and you said that it didn't impact either of them, and we kind of parlayed into the is there a guy that doesn't want to go because we didn't win a championship? I got to be honest with you. Ben Johnson looked bad today. There was a couple of calls. Obviously, the what was it? The little pitch that they worked through. I got it written down here. The St. John shovel pass. Awesome, awesome.
That was great.
But in the position of the game that we're in, that's a play you call when you are leading. Not when you are in a desperate situation. And you got a guy, I mean, how many passes has J-Mo thrown this year?
I mean, desperate times call for desperate measures. But
let Amon-Ra throw that ball. He's got better judgment.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's not about who threw it. It's about the judgment of throwing that football. You don't need to do it.
Ben Johnson,
throw
bro.
it. Well, it's on J-Mo to throw the ball away if it's not there.
But we're agreeing that was not the proper play call in a position that they were in.
I don't mind the play call. I hate the execution.
The execution leaves a lot to hate, man.
Because let's say he throws that ball out of bounds. Are we really talking about that play, or is it like, they tried?
No, we don't talk about it at all. But
my
thing, though, is this is a guy that I don't recall him throwing passes this year.
But that's why Ben Johnson's going to have him throw. Like, you got that's why, because they're not expecting it either. Coach Adam Taylor, the questions moving forward is, can you get over the hump with Goff and these coordinators? AG is horrible, and Ben Johnson is bad when it comes to situational football. And then we got Teddy Fresh. The Lions need to draft the best defensive players in the draft. All defense, maybe an old lineman, but I'm going down with this team all the way in Orlando.
Forever.
That's a true Lions fan right there. AJ Torrey, $10. To be honest, before DC got the job, I wanted the team to be disbanded to stop the suffering. But since this second season, I've been fully on board again. Thanks for a great season. I'm along for the ride. AJ Torrey with the super chat. Thank you guys for that.
For life, baby.
Yes, another super chat, $20. Dave Phipps should get some love. His special teams played well. Ben Johnson and AG can't say the same. They both spent way too much time in head coaches' interviews. There it is again, that head coaching interview coming up. That's going to be a thing.
It really isn't. I don't understand. I mean, there's all these tampering rules for players. Why aren't they in place for coaches? It makes no sense to me.
Damn it, JB. You see that graphic JB sent? You see that graphic JB sent? You get it to Chase to throw up. That's fucking awful, but awesome at the same time. We got any more phones over there? What's going on? 313-552-6322. Just throw somebody on, Kool-Aid. Oh, Freddie Felt is on. Freddie, been a great season with you, buddy. How you feeling, man?
Woodward original.
What up, though, fellas?
What up?
I gotta say this. I would rather watch my parents have sex than read the chat right now. You got a bunch of bums in there.
There's
they
a lot
have
of
nothing
pussy
in
our
their life but sport.
A lot of pussy in our chat right
That's
now.
it. Oh yeah, lots of basement dwellers, lots of dudes at T-Mobile trying to get the assistant manager position.
Hold on one second.
Hold
on 1 second, Freddie. We got a girl that just wandered up here wanting to talk. Here, take my headphones.
All right, so what's this podcast about?
Well, this is Woodward Sports. We're the largest sports network in Metro Detroit, and we happen to be talking
about
Lions.
the game. Okay, they'll talk about the game.
She's got the right colors on. Your camera's right here, darling.
All right. So, honestly, I've been a diehard Lions fan, and I've always, since last season, I was like, we're going to Super Bowl. This season, we're going to Super Bowl. And I was disappointed. I mean, we tried with the defense, with the offense, everything. And we give our best bet. But it doesn't count that we had, I've never heard this before, sorry, that we
28 players out for injury.
Did you hear me?
I knew where you were going.
Yeah, exactly.
So let me ask you this. How long have you been a fan?
I'm only 23 years old, since day one.
So and day one, 2 years ago, or day one since you were 8 years old?
That's funny. My dad has season tickets from day one.
Okay, so you're not jumping off the bandwagon.
Exactly.
At a girl.
And my dad, he used to go with my mom since day one. And guess where they would go to pregame before? Legends.
I like them already.
Swear to God. Swear to God. What'd you say? No, I'm from Harrison Township.
East Side. There we go.
East Side.
There's the love right there.
But no, it's a shame that this is how the season ended. And like I said, I've been like calling that we were gonna go to the Super Bowl. So
The belief was high this year in Lions fans, but it's not enough to knock you off of your love for the Lions. You're coming back next year. You're all in on this team, right?
Always.
Atta girl. Atta
Always. We could have been 0-12, and I would have been like, we're going to the Super Bowl.
Now that's a true Lions fans right there.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You're welcome.
Appreciate you coming in.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
Now you're going to make sure you follow Woodward Sports now, right?
Woodward
That's right.
Sports.
That's right.
All right, let's get Freddie back on the phone. Thank you. Freddie.
Hey, Stick, I'm glad 20-year-old blonde takes precedent over one of the biggest fans of this network.
Brother, she wasn't
and one of the
taking no
biggest
for an
Lions
answer.
fans.
She wasn't taking no for an answer, Freddie.
Freddie, you walk up here live on
I've been
time.
a day one fan for like 2 years.
Talk your shit, Freddie. Talk your shit. Go ahead,
Oh,
buddy.
I got the Lions.
Hold on, Freddie. Here comes another girl with some boobs.
Here comes another chick.
No. Say what you got to say. Oh, no. Were you actually coming up here?
All right, Freddie, we're going to put you on hold one more time.
Oh, my goodness.
Camera's right here. What's your name and where are you from?
My name's Aubrey. I'm from Algonac, Michigan.
Algonac.
Right on Lake St. Clair.
Muskrats, let's go.
Yes.
So how long have you been a Lions fan?
So actually, I've been a Lions fan kind of forever, but last year I got really into it because of my ex-boyfriend. We're over
Okay,
now.
we don't need to talk about him, but after
Yeah.
this loss, are you all in for next year still, or are you jumping off the bandwagon?
I am very in for next year still. I have hope. We keep it up. Yep. Jared Goff. I still have hope. Tonight made me kind of nervous, but
You want to show off the T-shirt you wore in here?
yes.
There it is. There it is. She's a Lions girl.
I am, and I'm still keeping the hope up, so I think we got it in the bag next year, hopefully.
I love it. I love it.
Yep.
Well, we appreciate all our Detroit Lions fans, especially when they're from the East Side. Appreciate you coming and saying hello,
Thank
joining us. Make
you.
sure you follow us on Woodward Sports, okay?
I already do.
Hey, she
Yep.
knows what this podcast is all about.
I do.
Is that your friend here?
It is.
It is. Okay. So you guys got something to go home and watch tonight.
Yep.
All right. Freddie's got a lot of nice things to say about you guys.
Thank you.
Of course.
All right. Thank you.
Have fun. Freddie, back to you, my friend.
Freddie, you got something to say?
Welcome back to Woodward Sports. We let any girl with a pulse come on and talk about sports.
We sure do.
Oh, man. I might have to pull a Mrs. Doubtfire to get some airtime.
Bully. Hit us with some facts, with some deep cuts. We want to hear what Freddie Feld has to say, my friend.
Well, first off, I don't even know how to process this.
I feel you.
No tears tonight. I bawled after the Niners game. I don't even know how to process this.
It was unexpected.
Back-to-back choke jobs in the playoffs.
Yep.
The NFC Championship last year was ours. We choked it away. One seed this season was our path. We choked it away.
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but that Amik injury at the beginning, like right out the gate, that was the kiss of death. What are we supposed to do on defense as a team?
When you're that
CD3 out.
Yeah, when you're
Amik out. What are you going to do? What are you going to do?
It's next man up. I mean, that's what they've been doing all season. It's just
That's the cliche. That's the cliche. Blah 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 blah.
It's not blah blah blah. It got him
that.
15-2,
Reality
Freddie.
sets that.
It got him 15-2. So you were going into this game thinking they were losing then, right?
Hell no. I was.
But reality of the injuries,
this
Freddie.
week.
But then you're fooling yourself and blaming the injuries now.
Dick, you know, I'm a Stick supporter.
I know you are. I love you, Freddie.
You speak for Detroit. Woodward Sports speaks for Detroit, regardless of what Twitter says.
Fuck those Twitter trolls.
I'm on your side with this. I'm not trying to blame injuries on this loss, because that's a loser mentality.
That's right.
That's SOL mentality.
That's a Packers mentality.
And there's a lot of, yeah, exactly. There's a lot of geeks that rip their Honolulu Blue off tonight, and they're going to start whining about everything. And fire this guy, get rid of this guy, blah, blah, blah. We're going to be back next year. And here's the thing. This loss, as demoralizing as it is, this next season proves who is the real Lions fan.
Oh, absolutely.
Who has this team's back. It ain't the wine and seas assholes that were in Ford Field tonight.
Freddie, I don't think that we're, as much as we've talked, especially, Sticks coined the term the new money Lions fans, I got to be honest with you. As backbreaking and as emotionally destructive as this loss was today, like you said, you don't even know how to react to this one. I don't think that everybody's going to be crying, fire this guy, fire that guy. I don't think we're losing a bunch of fans. In fact, and I've been saying it for the last month and a half, this team on paper, without any draft picks, without any free agency, is better on paper than the team we put on today. To Stick's point, listen, we don't want to talk about excuses. We're not talking about penalties. We're not talking about these guys that are hurt. But the mentality and culture of this team, I don't know many teams in the NFL that could have survived the injuries that they did and win 10 games. So maybe it did catch up with them. Maybe Ben Johnson played a bad game or called a bad game. Maybe Jared Goff had the worst game on the biggest stage that he needed to not have a bad game. The fact of the matter is, you know me, I'm supposedly SOL guy. We are still a brand new Lions franchise. We might be 2-2 in the playoffs, but I'll take 500 in the playoffs versus what we were up until last year.
We had one playoff win in 50 years.
Yeah, exactly, Stick. And great point, Sainson. And that was what I was getting to. I wasn't trying to, lead into this, excuse machine of the injuries and they suck or anything like that. No. The fact that this team went out and won 15 games, I got the 1 seed, with that team, the defense that we had with practice squad players, everybody gave it their all, man, and I'm so proud of this team.
Yeah.
Again, I am from Pontiac. I am not a blonde 20-year-old. I am a 41-year-old man.
Well, too bad.
2 miles away from the Silverdome.
If you were, we'd have you right on the show.
That's where I grew up. I will never turn my back on this team.
That's right.
We know that, brother.
I will say this, and I'll drop off here. If I'm Brad Holmes, I'm taking a flight to Vegas tonight, and I'm showing up at Max Crosby's mansion, and I'm giving him a blank check from Sheila Ham. Put a number down. I don't give a shit.
How about Hendon Hooker?
I want a Super Bowl.
How about Max Crosby picking us to lose?
How about Hendon Hooker, Hendon Hooker, Ben Johnson, and a draft pick for Max Crosby?
And speaking of the draft, I better not see an offensive player drafted in any round. All defense.
Well, that's under the assumption we can re-sign Zeitler. I don't mind one offensive lineman, but otherwise, amen. True. All defense, baby.
Well, Freddie, it's been a great season with you. It's been a great season with you, Freddie.
Thank you so much, man.
We love you, man.
Thanks for calling into the postgame show.
Appreciate what you guys do. One pride. We'll be back next season.
Let's go.
Yep, we gotta be back next season, man. And God, tomorrow when everybody's taking a deep breath and you get a chance to look back on this season, starting with the draft here in downtown Detroit. I mean, you think back to May, Anson. Me and you walked from Comerica Park all the way down to Hart Plaza.
Special moment, man.
And it was cool as fuck. People were stopping us. You're the guys from the Woodward postgame show. Hey, you're the guys. And it was one of those. Oh my. Okay, that was a cool moment. Today we come down here to Gillies. The city's buzzing. People coming up to me and Neil like, hey man, love Woodward Sports. Love what you guys have been doing. All that good stuff. So the totality of this year has been pretty amazing. The ending fucking sucks. Losing, but it's so weird because I don't mind losing to that team. I know we're better to that team, but if we lost to the Packers,
3 teams I didn't want to lose to, bro.
Packers, Vikings, Rams. If I would be up here with a whole different mindset right now if those were the losses.
No doubt.
Because if you lose to Matthew Stafford again, my God,
if you lose to the Vikings,
if you lost to the Vikings in the
you
playoffs,
you'd be hearing it all.
if you lost to
brother.
the Packers
Yep.
in the playoffs, like those were the 3 teams that could not end our season.
Yes.
Unfortunately, this was the team that could end our season, and I don't know. Like even my shit talk post video that I do on Twitter, I couldn't even do a shit talk. I'm like, listen, you're gonna lose, but I don't like you. I like Terry McLaurin. I think Jaden Daniels is a good quarterback. We'll see next year if he does the sophomore slump thing, CJ Stroud.
Did.
We'll
CJ
see.
didn't win 2 games. Let me ask you. I've been on the Jaden Daniels train since December, January. You were never a Catfish Caleb believer. How good is Jaden Daniels?
He looked good today.
No, I mean, period. Is this a top 5 quarterback in the NFL right now?
I mean, yeah, there's only like 5 teams playing.
No, you understand what I'm saying. Out of the 32.
I'm not going to anoint him there yet.
You won't.
You're going to put him above Mahomes.
Man,
you're going to put him above Allen. You're going to put him above Lamar.
Well, I'm not putting him above those 3.
There's 3.
But
okay,
those are the 3.
Now he's got
now
2
you're
spots
talking
left.
Jalen Hurts. You're talking
Hurts,
Jared
no.
Goff. You're talking Baker. You're talking this
Stafford.
There's a whole grouping. There's a glob after those top 3 dynamic, athletic quarterbacks. And I'll tell you,
if he keeps it up,
he gets
yes.
to write his script.
If he keeps it up, yes.
He gets to write his own
you know
script
what?
now.
One good rookie year, I'm sorry. I've seen it too many times.
Certainly. But
it comes and it goes.
I'll tell you, the poise and athleticism and just will to win that this kid has shown all year long. How many last-minute wins has this guy manufactured and pulled out of his ass?
Yep.
And then at the same time,
sometimes you get on a hot streak, though. But let's also, these guys lost to the Cowboys this year. They lost to the Jets this year.
Truth.
So
and they got pounded by the Eagles twice. So we'll see what they do next week.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, yes, he did really well against us. He's done really well the past couple weeks. But there's also been some clunkers thrown in there, too. So I'm not ready to anoint him as the next until he gets it done. And you know what? To his credit, he's got an opportunity to continue it. He wins next week. He's in a Super Bowl as a rookie.
I called him a polished Lamar Jackson coming out of college, and that's the way he's looked.
He throws better than Lamar.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. He's a little more calm. The game slowed down for him in his first year. It took Lamar about his 3rd year for the game to really slow down where he could become a great passer. Hey, this kid's in our conference now, and we're going to have to deal with him.
Yeah, and that's why when you're close like last year, you can't let it slip away because you don't know what's going to happen. What
don't
team
know you're going to get back.
Because guess what? The Lions last year, now Washington's the Lions of last year, right?
Shit, bro.
They are. They're the Lions of last year.
I hate that.
But it's true, and honestly, when we were playing them during the watch party, I was like, man, this is what it feels like to play the Lions. Every fucking 4th down, these guys are going for it and getting it.
Amen to that. Because
Like,
it's like, kick it, damn it. Just kick it.
Yeah, it's like we stopped you. Kick it like a normal person.
As much as it bothered me, I never put that together. That's what it's been like to play against the Lions.
Isn't that crazy? It's
shit.
like, God damn it, it's 4th and 2. Why are you going for this? And it's like, well, we do it too. So
does that change the future of basketball? Because we've already seen a higher. Yeah, sorry. I'm watching Isaiah over here. Isaiah's on the screen. But yeah, is that changing the future of football? Because since he's been in here, Dan Campbell, and not 01, but 2022, this guy, he had a successful way of calling games, and it predicated on 4th down conversions. And now you're seeing a higher percentage of 4th down attempts in the NFL. In fact, we lost to the team who had the highest efficiency on 4th down, believe it or not, better than our Lions.
Yeah, and listen, I still think the Lions are a better football team than the Washington.
I don't disagree.
Football team, Commanders, Redskins,
Two
whatever the hell they want to call
turnovers
themselves
and
this
we
year.
win this game. 2 turnovers and we win this game. 5.
A stop on 4th and 2 when you got 12 fucking men on the field. You win this game. Drago with the super chat. Is it time for Brad Holmes to drop a bag on a high-price free agent? We need another game changer. Budget players helped, but the offense had to carry again. Yeah, I mean, I think we all know the defense needs help. Like, but the help's going to come from the IR. You
But
don't
the
even need to
specific
go.
question
like
about-
your biggest offseason signing this year is going to be Aiden Hutchinson.
Yeah, well, and
That's
I've
it.
talked about it. I love the way that this team has been built. No one has gotten a 3-year deal or more except for the guys that we drafted and, of course, Jared Goff. I don't see them going out and spending massive money. Now, maybe things have changed a bit to where the culture can absorb a guy that doesn't immediately fit in. But what I've seen for them, I mean, look, Anzalone came here, played awesome, then he gets another 1-year deal. Played awesome, then they finally give him a multi-year deal. This team's not interested in giving unknown entities big money and locking them in for multi-years. So to your question, my friend, my answer is no. Unless his name is Max Crosby, which, again, you have to get through a trade, I just don't see any free agents that are that they're willing to take that kind of a chance on when they have the draft record that they have. Let's hear it, bro. Let's hear it, bro.
I just love Packers fans. They are the most fragile pieces of shit on the planet. So, like, immediately after the game, you know, because I had a video get 3 million views by Packers fans.
Oh, they chirping now.
Oh, they're
you got
going
6
nuts.
million now.
So I just wanted to address it, right? So, like, my only tweet so far after the game was, "Hi, Packers fans. Until you beat the Lions, you are irrelevant and a poverty franchise. Thanks for visiting my ex."
143.
785 replies.
You have 143K, and that's what, an hour old? Man, listen, I know you guys are watching. I know you guys are watching, but
what else they gonna do?
Oh man, they really have a difficult time accepting the new NFC North. I think that they have a hard time accepting that Jordan Love is not the guy. He is not Aaron Rodgers, and he is not Brett Favre. And clearly, the Vikings, they don't even know who to get behind because they think it's Sam Darnold. I bet half their fan base wants him gone, and half the fan base is waiting for JJ, while the other half of the fan base, we can't give it to a guy with no experience. We just won 14 games. Both those franchises are in trouble, and whether we had an early out tonight, Lions are coming back with an even better roster next year. So you better buckle your seatbelts up, Minnesota and Green Bay, because you're going to get throttled again. If you guys can, between the two of you, just take one game from us, consider yourselves lucky. Oh, they run in their mouths.
I love it. I absolutely love it. Can you imagine being that fragile, letting me shake your whole goddamn state? We got phones, Kool-Aid. Let's get to some more phones. Just throw them up and we'll talk to them. We are live at Gillies for the Woodward Sports post-game show. Lions lose 45-31. An absolute shit show of a game. Jared Goff, 3 interceptions because of that late one at the very end. 1 fumble. Jamison Williams getting on the stat sheet with an interception.
And a touchdown.
and a great reverse touchdown.
Awesome.
But Kool-Aid, who we got on the phones? Throw them on up. 239, you are on the Woodward Sports postgame show. Who's this and where are you calling from?
Hey, fellas, it's Hot Carl from Centerline.
What up, Hot Carl?
East Side.
I just want to thank you guys for a great season. You know, wish it would have ended differently, but it's been a really good time.
Yeah, what'd you do for the game today? Where are you at?
I was out drinking, you know, doing a little gambling, a little drugging. You know what I mean? Chasing some tail.
I like that a lot.
So you didn't lose today.
Hey, what was up with that Canadian caller earlier? What a fucking dope. You should give him his own air shift.
7 points, bro.
He had 7 points, and not only did he want to touch on each point, he wanted to explain everyone in depth.
He could have used another 15 minutes with us. Unfortunately, we didn't have it for him.
But hey, he was well thought out at least.
And he was well prepared.
Well,
same thing.
Yeah, he was pretty funny, and I think, you know, laughing at him, not with him. But seriously, get him an air shift.
I liked how he called it offense.
You could do a show with Maz. They could be like the new Morning Men.
Yeah, there we go. We really need to push that 65 and up demo. We got to
There
hit
you go,
that.
buddy.
Shout out, Maz.
Now, I appreciate your phone call, man. Kool-Aid, who else we got next on the phones? You are on the Lions post-game show. We are live at Gillies, downtown Detroit.
507.
507, you are on. Who's this? Where are you calling from? And what do you think of the game? All right, on to the next one, Kool-Aid. Who else we got?
Oh,
Yep,
we got
we
somebody.
can hear you. Is this 507 still?
Hey, 507, Scott.
Hey, what's going on,
I'm
Scott?
calling from London, actually.
UK.
Yeah, the United Kingdom. That's where I work.
Very cool.
From America.
Could you catch the game over there?
I felt so. Yeah, I watched it from 1 a.m. to 4 a.m. Yeah, I feel wonderful.
That's awesome, dude. Like, that's a diehard fan right there. Anybody else watching with you, or you're up by yourself at 4 a.m. watching the Lions lose?
Oh, up by myself. And I really had patient Super Bowl here. So
Man.
the reason I was up this way.
Yeah, I think we all felt it was destiny. Like, honestly, I even during this game when they were down, you felt they were
I
going
did
to win.
too, yeah. I thought they were going to come back. So definitely.
Well, man, we appreciate you calling all the way from London.
Yeah, I think so. So, Command, I got to disagree with something because I felt like maybe given the injuries on defense that Washington was just a better team overall. I mean, there were two big factors in the game. One is the defense couldn't stop them at all. The second was turnovers by Goff. And, you know, their quarterback played a team game. It just seemed like more personnel on defense, and we need a better night by Goff.
Yeah, no, and that's kind of been the story of the night and the story of the season. More personnel on defense, And when you looked at the matchup before the game, like, listen, the Lions were number 1 in offense. Commanders were number 5 in offense. Our defense was second, or like not very great at letting up yards. Their defense was like almost last in rushing yards allowed. So, I mean, you knew points were going to be put up. It's just you couldn't fall behind. You constantly had to be the lead dog. You constantly had to outpace. And those turnovers, they kill you. But I'll always go back to that 4th and 2 play, man. I'll always, like, that to me, like I said, is the Vildor play. Bounce off the face mask. Okay, this is bad.
Did we see Jack Fox today?
Very first series.
Okay, so after the 3 and out, other than that, realistically, they couldn't stop our offense either.
No.
You know?
No.
And the fact that we gave the ball into their hands, one of them a pick 6, that's all that happened today. I don't think that the Redskins, commies, Washington football team, whatever the hell you want to call those losers in the Capitol, they're not a better football team than us.
Yeah.
You know, maybe Jaden Daniels will go down as a better quarterback at the end of his career than Jared Goff and what he has accomplished through his career at this point, but the Lions came in and did every single thing they needed to do to beat themselves, and they still had a damn chance.
Yeah, and they didn't quit. You know they're not going to quit.
Nope.
That's not in their DNA.
You didn't see that at all.
It's just, damn, man. Damn, a whole season came and went, Anson.
I know,
like,
man.
just like that.
Like, the fact that we're not doing this next week pisses me off so much. I had my outfits picked out for the next couple weeks, bro. You know what I'm saying?
You did not.
Well, no, I didn't really. But I did have a blazer that I was going to wear today, and I forgot it. I'm like, I'll bring it next week.
I just picture you, like, in your bedroom, like, okay, there's the divisional round, there's the NFC Championship, and if we make the Super Bowl, I got this over here.
I do have a solid idea of what I would have worn. I'll leave it at that.
Well, you know what? I guess we'll never know.
You will, because we will go to the Super Bowl one day, and I will wear that shit.
Melissa Robertson with a 1999. Steve Robertson's wife here. Hey, Melissa Robertson,
that's your
absolute
wife?
all-star.
Oh,
no,
awesome.
This is his mom.
Oh, okay.
Wifey's in Arizona still.
Okay.
Wife
Shout
here.
out.
Fuck
That's awesome.
the Packers. Thanks for a great season. I heart Woodward Sports. We heart you, and thank you for letting your husband be a part of this whole craziness that we get to call. Renaissance Dad with the $4.99. With our team now, you guys might as well settle in and get used to this feeling. HTTR. What is HTTR?
I don't know. We can ask one of our millennials about that, but it's Hail to the Redskins.
Oh. I thought your name was the Commanders.
Oh.
Oh, they still chant?
Yeah, I used to work with a lady at Bob Evans who had it tatted on her arm along with the old.
How fat was she?
Wasn't that fat.
Really?
Nah.
From Washington?
Sounds like she was kind of hot the way you replied.
Dude, all those guys wear pig noses just so they can make their ladies look better. Like, that's what they do in Washington. You've seen that.
I got to be honest. I'm not terrified of the Redskins moving forward. I do respect Jaden Daniels. I've been singing the praise of this guy since he still was wearing LSU yellow. The rest of their team, they didn't really do crazy stuff today to win this game. Now, Sandra Still, shout out Wolverine. The guy was amazing today.
Yeah.
And he's been a fantastic rookie all season long.
Yeah.
But if the Lions contain themselves to one or two mistakes today, it's not hail to the Redskins, it's goodbye to the Redskins.
Well, I mean, the Redskins are already goodbye. That was 2 team names ago. It's so weird to me how people claim to be Commanders fans. Like, oh, I've been there since the beginning. No, you weren't. Because, like, what do you mean? Yeah, 2 years ago? Oh, the Redskins have won. Yeah, the Redskins.
Let's not hate on their franchise.
The Commanders has never won. Hate on their. I can hate on their.
But
No. Here you go, Anson. Here you go. You want to hate on their franchise?
Give it to me.
These assholes sexually harassed their cheerleaders so bad.
They don't have them anymore?
That Dan Snyder, no, you know what their solution was to get their execs to quit sexually harassing their cheerleaders? Do you know what their solution was?
Tell me.
Male cheerleaders.
Oh, no, damn it.
I
Stop.
swear to God. Google's your friend, folks. Look it up. Dan Snyder could be the biggest piece of shit on the planet. Because of his horrible emails, John Gruden got fired. Like, that's how bad this organization is. They are molesters. They are horrible people up top there, and these fools support them, and that's fine. Vocal Vike fan, I don't know if you were here earlier, but if you want to talk shit, you got to actually pay to do it, okay?
$20.
Take your $4.99 broke ass up the road with your little skull chant and come back with $15 more if you want me to read what you put in the super chat. We don't mind. We don't mind reading haters' comments, as long as you're paying for it.
It's a hell of a hoser, eh?
Yeah, the Vikings fans, dude. That is one thing that's come out of this season. Is I loathe Vikings fans.
Vikings fans right now are drinking alcohol and playing steamroller with the boys.
I don't know what that is, but
you don't wanna.
I'm sure.
But my man from the Great White North knows exactly what I'm talking about.
but Vikings fans are trash, absolute trash. They are
steamroller.
They're like the homeless guy that found a new pair of shoes and thinks he's better than every other homeless guy.
Do you know what steamroller is?
I don't.
It is
quit touching me when you say that. Don't ever do that again.
It is a Great White North tradition of men getting on the ground and rolling over on top of each other back and forth.
That definitely sounds like
that's how they celebrate.
Do they yell skull while they do it?
I would imagine.
All right, Kool-Aid, let's get to more of these phones. It's the Lions post-game show. Great season for the Detroit Lions. Horrible ending, but you know what? All things end badly, Anson. Otherwise, they wouldn't end.
Do they always end badly?
Yeah.
I don't know how a lot of teams that have won the Super Bowl and then they cease to exist after that. So I got to agree with you. Listen, this is an SOL season, even though we had 15 wins. Because until we get off the schneid and win a damn Super Bowl, it's all a failure. As you said, mission is not accomplished. However, the way that this team is drawn up, the way that the roster looks, the way that the salary cap looks, we are going to have absolutely a top 3 roster in week 1 before any injuries hit any of the 32 franchises. And that is before we hit the draft, which we know these guys are fantastic at, and we got a whole lot of money for free agency. So expect these guys to address some problems and some situations that arose throughout the year through lack of depth. Expect some changes and some shakeups in our coaching staff. But I have so much faith. And if you are new or old as a Lions fan, you have to have faith in Dan and Brad at this point. They have earned it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, listen, if you don't think the Lions have turned the corner and now we're the perennial team to beat, I guess, why do you think they're in the chat, Anson? It's not because their team has won anything. It's because they need to come talk to the big dog.
That's right.
And that's what they're doing, and that's what you do. I appreciate it.
They're not in Bears podcast right now. I know that.
There are no Bears podcasts. There are no Vikings podcasts. There is no Woodward Sports of Green Bay. And that's why they come to us, because they know we're daddy, and they know this is where the voices can be heard. And you know what? If you want to make your voice heard, I'm telling you, send some money. Vocal Vike, again, $1.99. That's not going to get it
what
done,
is he up to,
son.
7 now? He needs 13 more?
He's up to 7 now. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Man, not going to get it done, Vocal Vike. I'll say your name for $1.99. But you want to be on this show, you want to have a voice, you want me to read your trash talk, A, make it good, B, give me $20.
I'm not going to read that or to speak to it, but the irony of Vikings fan talking about Super Bowls. Come on now.
They cherish their second place finishes, Anson.
You guys wasted Fran Tarkington. Kick rocks.
And Randy Moss. And Adrian
that
Peterson.
guy too.
And Chris
Carter.
Like, we can go on and on and on. That's why, like, Kool-Aid, who else we got on the phones? 323 is on the phone. 323 on the phone. Who's this? Where are you calling from?
Hey, what's up? It's Kevin.
Hey, what's up, Kevin?
From Los Angeles, California.
How you feeling after this game, Kevin?
Hey, it sucked for a minute, but I look at the big picture. They're going to be all right. They got money to spend. The injuries just caught up. But, you know, I just had my cigar, and everything's going to be all right. But what they need to address, and no, you guys aren't talking about, like, Frank Ragnow is a big question mark. So maybe you might have to look at interior line in the draft. But get a pass rusher and reinforce the secondary. There's a guy that I love that he plays in Miami. He's a free agent, Javon Holland.
Stud.
That guy, if he's in that secondary, is going to be crazy.
Who sits for Javon Holland, though? Who are you going to sit for?
I love Kirby Joseph, but is he going to command a ton of money? I don't know.
But Javon Holland's going to command a bunch of money as well. And I'm not denigrating Javon Holland. Don't you just think that money could be better used somewhere else on the defense?
Yeah. Well, can Branch play? Well, see, they need a cornerback. You got me there.
And honestly, there's two different branches we saw. Last year we saw him rotating everywhere. He was up on the line. He was blitzing. He was playing in the secondary. And this year we saw how good he is. But to your point, and I'm not saying that this is what I would do, but if you do bring in a Javon Holland, now all of a sudden you add that floating corner secondary safety guy that can rush the quarterback, help and run support, but also play, the nickel back or the slot receiver or slide into that safety position. I just think that the biggest problem this year that actually our secondary kind of masked was the fact that we didn't get any pressure. Secondary played so good that we got pressure and got to the quarterback without Aiden Hutchinson, without Aleem McNeil, without a whole host of other good guys.
They were one of the better pressure teams in the league, but one of the lowest sack teams in the league. And
exactly.
Pressures are nice, but you got to get them on the ground. Little Loner with the $5 super chat. So everyone's so happy the bad guys finally lost. Y'all can pretend that your teams are good now. I'm assuming she's talking about the Vikings and the Packers fans. See you in September with an even stronger team.
I like her.
Love that attitude.
I like her.
What's her name? Chris the Immortal. Now we got to wait a year for next year's 18-week preseason to be over. And that is...
It's a true statement,
Chris,
brother.
But... You couldn't have said it. Yeah, here you go. Take another one of these, Steve. You couldn't have said it. And shout out to New Holland Tangerine Space Machine for hooking it up today. The New Holland crew was here. But, Chris, I think that sums up the entire season and where the Lions are at now. I'll read it again for everybody who missed it. Now we got to wait for next year's 18-week preseason to be over so we can get the 1 seed again. The standards have changed in Detroit.
That's crazy, isn't it?
regular season, and I know you guys got mad at me for saying this year, I don't give a fuck about the 1 seed.
It matters even less next year because now
It
we're the
didn't
number
matter
1
this year.
seed, and that shit didn't matter, like you said.
And I caught a lot of shit for saying that.
From me as well.
From you, and I appreciate you owning up to that, but a lot of people gave it because the number 1 seed doesn't fucking matter.
Well, you said something to me before the broadcast, and you said, don't you kind of wish we'd have lost now and we weren't rusty? Because if we lose that game and we're the 5 seed, this is the angriest team in the playoffs.
Right. On a mission. And sometimes that negative reinforcement, and listen, we're all talking 2020 hindsight now, right? Is Dan Campbell, the next time he gets a bye week, is he going to take time off like he said he's going to do some R&R with his family, you know? Are the coordinators going to be able to go take these interviews? Everything they did this time, they're not going to do again, whether it was right or wrong, because the outcome.
It was a prescription for a
loss.
losing season.
And that's all
That's
matters.
right.
You lost, so everything you did must have been wrong. And that, unfortunately, is the message they got to take. But that's part of growing. It's part of learning.
It's part of it getting better.
But you got to learn from it. And it definitely feels like they didn't learn from that big loss last year.
They didn't learn from the Texans game.
Yeah.
Like, I know that y'all won that game, but it was by the skin of your teeth, man.
And does home field advantage matter anymore?
It sure didn't tonight.
Were the Lions undefeated on the road this year?
They certainly were.
Did they lose 2 games at home this year?
They certainly did.
So would you argue they were more vulnerable at home than on the road?
Well, after I heard the fans in the stadium that paid their pretty price to be in there and sit on their damn hands in the second half when the Lions needed them most, you got something there, my friend.
Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. The number 1 seed was never the end goal. The 18-game preseason is the perfect way to put it, because if the Lions go 12-5 next year, make it as a 4 seed, 5 seed, whatever, and get hot at the end, that's all that matters. That's all that matters to me. I don't care about regular season games anymore. I don't, unless you're getting to the point of it's taking you out of the playoffs, right? The only regular season games I give a shit about are in-division games. That's it.
Well, so the bar is kind of, it's even gotten higher now.
Yeah.
We didn't get as far, but now the bar is higher because every Lions fan, to your point, we got to have that number 1 seed.
Yep.
We got to win 14, 15 games. And now here we've done it, and we already got guys talking about let's fast forward through the 18-week preseason.
Right. But that's what it is, though.
So
the Lions are so good now.
But there's
it's a
nothing short of
preseason.
a Super Bowl that will keep anybody happy in this city next year.
And nor should it be, right?
I agree.
Nor should it be. Like this year, Dan Campbell will tell you this year's a failure as far as the outcome. 15-2, very nice thing. Let's put it in our pocket. They're the first team to lose in the first round, going with 15 wins since, of course, the Green Bay Packers, because Aaron Rodgers is a very overrated quarterback.
He's a cool guy, though.
No, he's not.
I think he's cool now. I think he's cool now.
Yeah, he ruins franchises.
but he does ayahuasca, so I like him.
Yeah, well, either way. But I don't know, man. I really... It's tough to put a wrap on this game. It's tough to put a bow on this season. It's tough. It's really tough to say goodbye to this team because
It's tough
you
to
love
put
these
an
guys.
end to the damn post-game show. I love doing this with you.
I love doing it with you too, and I told you early in the season this will be my last year doing the post-game show on Woodward Sports.
Cap. He ain't leaving until he gets a Super Bowl, baby.
I've been doing it 4 years. It's time for me to enjoy my football Sundays.
No, you can still do that.
No, I can't.
Listen,
you can pipe me in from Phoenix from my couch.
If you're okay with him not being on the post-game show, let us know. If you are not,
they'll be
let
ready.
us know over and over and over and over again. Because I'll tell you what, quitting before we win a Super Bowl is bullshit, my friend. We've been here from the lowest of the lows, 10-1. I'm not down with that. I hope you're not either, Chad. I will hold you to the flame right now, though. How many games do the Lions win in the regular season next year? We've got 11 games against teams that made the playoffs this year.
That doesn't matter.
No, I'm just asking.
We had a first-place schedule this year, too.
How many wins?
Like I said, I'll go 12-5. I'm not even looking at the schedule. I don't even know who the fuck they're playing. I'd be okay with 12-5.
Fair.
I'm not gonna freak out. Relevancy is a fickle mistress. Skull ready to face off with improved and healthy rosters. So wait. You guys are going to have J.J. McCarthy as your quarterback next year. Or you're going to pay Sam I see goes Darnold $50 million.
JJ's
the
an
Vikings
upgrade.
franchise is over.
JJ's an upgrade for them.
Is he?
I believe so.
Show me the
That's
throws.
coming from a Spartan,
Show me
brother.
the college throws that he made.
I will show you the preseason game I watched. What I've seen out of that young man growing as a guy that was, we don't even want him to start for McNamara, a guy that took over a team, and then a guy that went to a national championship and won it. He makes big plays when you need him to. I believe that he's got the legs, he's got the brain, he's got the moxie, and he's got the arm to be successful at the NFL level. That being said, a 7-year guy like Sam Darnold was better positioned to take this Vikings team to a 14-win season. It's going to take some growing pains for JJ. It probably won't happen this next year.
Or the year after.
But I do think he's an upgrade for them over the next 4 years.
We all see. Because next year they're going to be dealing with a rookie quarterback who has had a year off of playing football in general. You want to talk about trying to adjust the timing of a game. Listen, J.J. McCarthy, what he did at Michigan, fantastic. But also he handed the ball off 31 times against Penn State. I could have won that game for Michigan.
I would have liked to see 37 handoffs today from the Lions offense.
I mean, they were dominating when they handed Gibbs the ball.
They sure were. And, I got to ask, Monty didn't look like Monty today. He didn't get a lot of touches. No. But did they force him back?
Yeah.
I thought so, too.
If you go to Lions Twitter and scroll back before the game when they do the guys walking in here, I'm going to pull it up and show you. Like, I showed it to Neil Rule. I'm like, Monty's walking like a 90-year-old man.
Yeah, I thought that Craig Reynolds would have better suited this team in the offense today. The few times that they gave it to him, I mean, he didn't get much more than a yard or two. He looked tentative. He looked a little slow. He looked hurt.
Yeah.
And Chet, if you want to see this motherfucker back here in the post-game show next year, we'll let him go to a couple of games. He can go to a couple of games. Somebody else will fill in. But let him hear it all the way until September that you want him back on the post-game show. Oh, my goodness.
Doesn't that look like a stiff-ass old man walking?
It's either a serious pimp walk or he's hurt.
He's hurt. He's hurt. And once again, I'm not going to blame any injuries. You put the team out there, you play fucking football. There's no excuses here, but come on.
Well, there's a big super chat.
My intro to FB was watching the Lions lose to the Skins. Oh, to football, okay. On the big screen at the Silverdome. To watch them lose to the, quote, Commanders tonight was brutal. I'm a glutton for punishment. On to next season. AJ Torrey, we're all masochists. If you're a Detroit Lions fan, before the last 2 years, you have to have been a masochist. Like, there's no way you could endure the type of beating that we have taken through our whole lifetimes if you weren't the type of person that sought out that bullshit. And I'm one of them. I'm definitely one of them. Cody Kirschbaum. You guys talking all shit? No, sorry, Cody.
More money.
Cody, you're broke. You're too broke, dude. Like
$1.99?
No, he sent $5. I'll read your super chat talking shit if you spend $20, but $5.
We did outline this at the beginning of the show. All right, this was a tough loss.
Yeah,
we're here for you.
Yeah,
we appreciate your support. We'll read what you send, but if you are talking shit, you better spend $20 to have it read.
And I think that's fair, right?
Today it is.
Yeah, I think it's totally fair. Listen, most guys wouldn't even sit up here and take the heat. You know, like we're doing a 2-hour post-game show.
We've been up here about an hour too long, bro.
No, fuck that. Like if we're gonna enjoy the good times, we're gonna live through the bad times. We ain't no punks.
We're Detroiters.
We
bro.
lived through 0-16. Steve Robertson sitting right in front of me, and also in the super chat. Stick isn't going anywhere here.
That's right. Super chat him in. Crush him with cash to let him know how you want to see him next year. Bro, you're not going anywhere until we win the damn Super Bowl. All right? I will do my best, chat. I got, 8-9 months?
Yeah, we can work on it. But no, I mean, my goal next year is to be on my couch. Listen, before we started Woodward Sports, every single Sunday was spent with pizza, a couch, ton of weed, and football. Mm-hmm. And I loved it.
So we've had pizza. Shout out Soroki's.
Yep.
We've had weed. Shout out
Jars.
We've had all of that. We even started on the couch. You want to go to a game. That's what you've been complaining about.
I have not been to a game in 4 years.
And I give you that. We'll give him one game a month where he doesn't have to be here. We'll take a little rotation fill-in.
Stick sucks just like the Lions.
Well,
there
he's from Minnesota, bro. He's steamrolling his buddies right now.
Stick will not be missed. Bye-bye.
Yeah,
by Jeff
Packers
Lee.
fan.
Oh, God, I hate when people
You know what? Jeff Leach, Mason Leach isn't going to miss you because he won't have to pay his money.
Dude, he popped up in the watch party today, and we just absolutely fucking
Dude, I
roasted
hammered him on Thursday on the network, too. He was trying to get Eastside Maria's phone number. You need $350 paid to my man right here before you get anybody's phone number, bro.
Yeah, you don't get to talk to Maria. She's well above you. Well above you.
She is pretty wonderful.
Yeah, Maria's awesome. Tomorrow, we are going to have Woodward in Maine, 8 a.m. Broder and Terry Foster to give it the Lions season in review.
Man.
And then, of course, Monday we're coming back with all the live programming. Wake Up Woodward is going to be on 8 to 10. Big D Energy from 10 to 1 or from 11 to 1, 2 to 4. Ermanni and Edwards, and of course the heavyweights from 5 to 7. And we're going to be live at Feldman Chevrolet on Monday.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, lots of stuff going on.
And I'll be in Tuesday doing my best Ryan Ermanni impression. Looking forward to that.
Oh yeah, you're in the Tuesday.
I am.
All right. Still, let's see. Stick, you can let this season. You can't let this season beat you. Dom, Anson. When did I tell you this? How many weeks ago did I tell you that was going to happen?
And what did I tell you?
Wait. No, I just want to address this comment. How many weeks ago? So do you think this has anything to do with the season beating me?
No, it doesn't.
Thank you. That's all I wanted to get to. This has nothing to do with the loss.
He's got a baby that's not a year old. He's been married not even a year.
Yeah.
This guy, I don't want to go too deep into your professional resume, but he's got a lot of businesses that he's started in the last 5 years. They're all doing well, and he could always put more time into them and even more time into his family. But I promise you, I will do everything in my power to make sure this man is back until we win a damn Super Bowl.
Chase, you know how to turn on the phones? Where did Kool-Aid go? The hell Kool-Aid go?
I am not sure.
I think he just busts through a wall somewhere.
All right, I'm gonna go.
Oh yeah!
I'm gonna go put on this call. 231. Matt's hanging.
Well,
where's Kool-Aid?
While we wait for Matt here, listen. One of the biggest things that's hard to accept about this loss is the millions. The millions of dollars that the Detroit Lions, that the city of Detroit is going to lose by not hosting another game next week, and that's a tough pill to swallow. This bar was packed tonight, and next Sunday, I don't know what Detroit's going to look like. I don't know how many people are going to be tuning in to the NFC Championship or the Super Bowl. I know I couldn't even watch the Super Bowl last year, so I'm curious how many of you guys are going to be sticking around to watch NFL football over the next 2 weeks.
Oh, I'm blocked in tomorrow.
Well, I know you will be. I know you will be.
And Allen,
I'll watch that one, I guess.
Honestly, that's the game I was most excited about.
Okay, let me ask you this: are you going to watch the NFC Championship next week?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll watch maybe the last 5 minutes.
Listen, I'm a football fan,
sick
man.
About it. I'm so sick.
All right, let's take this call. 231. Is this Matt? You are on the post-game show. What up, Matt?
What up, though? This is not Matt.
Oh.
It's Tabitha.
Tabitha Gable.
Hey, Tabitha.
What up?
What up, Tabby?
All right, so I just want to say we're still 15-3. 28 plus injuries, right?
Yep.
Last time I checked, it's still a 53-man roster. So we beat everyone that bad with half of a healthy team. We still swept the North. It's still fuck everybody that ain't Detroit.
That's right, Tabitha.
We still bleed Honolulu blue. Serious. Go Lions. I don't care. Look at it. They gave us the best season of our life. Go Lions. Lions for life. Haters gonna hate. Go Lions. Fuck everybody that ain't Detroit. What up, Stick? What up, Anson? What up, Chase? I hear you in the background.
What up, Tabitha?
Woodward rules!
Woodward Sports, let's go.
There's 1,100 people out here talking shit. Woodward, lock it in. Y'all don't even got sports shows. Get a sports show. Why are you in our chat?
Tabitha, could you imagine
Get
waking up
live.
as a Vikings fan?
We lived rent-free in your head all season.
True story.
Now you want to show up and talk shit. Where were you all season when we were whooping that ass?
Real talk.
Belts 2 asses all season. We'll see you next season. We'll watch the playoffs play out. Jared Goff still rules. Amon-Ra still rules. Laporta, J. Curve. Me got hurt. So.
Well, Tabitha,
Go Lions.
we
Thanks for
appreciate
saying
you.
what.
I love you guys, Woodward.
Love you too.
Thank you for saying it for us. For real.
Yep. Go Woodward. Woodward.
Tabitha's awesome. Throw up the next one, Chase, and just tell us what area code is on.
All right, we got 313.
313, calling from the D. We are live at Gillies with the post-game show on Woodward Sports. Who's this?
What's up, y'all? This is Brian calling from Jacksonville.
Hey, what up, Brian? How you feeling after this loss, man?
And you know what? I am very bummed, but I'm very optimistic for the future because I've been on various posts on social media defending this team from these fake bandwagon new money fans who just ready to give up. Like, the offense didn't show up tonight. The defense didn't show up. But you know what? Like I said earlier, Brad, Dan, they deserve that trust that they're going to build this back up. Reload the gun and get ready to shoot next season.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, they deserve a little bit of leniency. Obviously, I don't think they're happy with what the hell happened. We're definitely not happy with what the hell happened. But this team's only getting stronger. It's still just, like Dan Campbell's been here 4 years, but this is year 2, the final year 2 of the rebuild, right? The first couple years were just cleaning house and getting things right. These past years, this is the first time they've had the roster that they've actually wanted.
Yeah, it's really a lot to ask a franchise that has been so down for so long to completely flip the script and win probably the hardest championship in sports, the Super Bowl. So what they've done as an organization, culture-wise, and where they've gotten, I love the callers' faith and optimism for this team going forward because the culture has been changed. I can say OSOL all you want, but these are a brand new Lions in terms of their foundation, their organization, their leadership, their players, their development. They just got to get it done in the playoffs.
Yeah, and they know that, right? I don't think we're saying anything that's not being said in that locker room. They're all looking around at each other, and, man, we had a lot of fun this season, but we didn't get the job done. And that's the bottom line. These guys are paid to win the Super Bowl. They're here to win the Super Bowl. They had one goal to win the Super Bowl, and it did not happen. And they flamed out in a spectacular – Spencer was calling this the biggest upset ever in the NFL playoffs. Biggest upset ever.
I think he called it a choke job.
Yeah, he called it a choke job.
And I don't know if it's the biggest ever, but it certainly was a choke job. Certainly was. At home, this is what Lions fans have waited for our entire lives in the modern Super Bowl era and even the more modern Super Bowl era where that number 1 seed gets the bye. That's all we wanted. And I keep going back to the things you said right before we started the broadcast. This team would have been better off staying in the underdog role.
Yeah.
Staying pissed off, staying based on revenge, and coming in as a 5 seed, carrying the momentum from an ass whooping last week that you know they would have handed out, and then coming back this week, and I don't even know who they would have played, where they would have been, or anything like that, but the week off did no favors to this Lions team.
No, you need that rhythm. It's a rhythm offense. It's a timing offense, and you needed it.
That's the thing, man. It's truly a rhythm offense with a rhythm passer and a rhythm offensive coordinator, and you broke that rhythm for a whole week.
Yeah, and apparently they didn't handle it right. Listen, we'll never know, right, if they would have maybe not taken those interviews or Dan Campbell didn't take the weekend off or whatever the hell they did. We'll never know. because it's written now, it's history, it's real. The Commanders walked into Ford Field
We know it didn't
and
work.
stole one.
We know it didn't work.
We know it
That's
didn't
what
work.
we know.
And you know Dan Campbell's not going to let it happen again.
Absolutely not. Fail forward, baby.
Yep. Yeah, tough season, man. This offseason's going to be very interesting, especially when you lose a Ben Johnson, when you lose a Aaron Glenn. But according to the chat, both those guys fucking suck anyways, and so who cares? Like, that's what's so interesting about a lot of the new Lions fans is they've been calling for AG's head all year. But then in the next breath, they'll say, but you're losing your coordinators. Well, wait, if he was bad, wouldn't it be a good thing if the Lions got a new coordinator? And you know what? You never know who they're going to bring in for a Ben Johnson. You don't know if they're going to upgrade somebody. You don't know if Calvin Shepard's going to move in for the AG. But there's creative offensive minds out there that can replace a Ben Johnson. And let's also not forget that Dan Campbell's offense is what they're running. Ben Johnson's just been the tinkerer. But before Ben Johnson took over play calling, Dan Campbell was the one that improved the offense with his play calling before he gave it to Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson was a tight ends coach when he got here.
Well, and how many teams have you seen go and just win a Super Bowl out of nowhere with their full coaching staff? You see teams experience success, push deep into the playoffs, and then they lose guys. This is the state of the NFL.
Yep.
Listen, if you're worried about the assistant coaches leaving and you don't think that the Lions will be back doing what they did this year, next year, you're a new fan, all right? These guys, they have a new culture, and they have a true leader, which you saw red-faced up at the podium, taking all of the blame. This isn't just a guy that players want to come and play for. This is a guy that coaches want to come and coach next to, and he is a career maker. I know he's only been here for 4 or so years, but I'm going to tell you, he's going to be here for 14 more. And he will send so many different guys down the line. His tree is going to be wide. It's going to be huge with deep, deep roots. This Lions team, as much as this was an SOL loss, I will concede to the brand new Lions culture.
George Bashara in the chat, $5. That hit on Goff was dirty as shit. Watch the post-game conference. Dude clearly got a concussion. Should Teddy have played the whole game? I don't know. I mean, if he's medically cleared, you want your guy out there. And plus, I mean, that was his second interception. So he didn't throw another interception until late in the game. After that, I don't know. Goff didn't play his best game, but obviously that hit was something else. Jacob Small, $5 super chat. Thanks for the great season, Woodward Sports. Shout out to all the people at the network that make it possible, and thank you, Stick and Anson. Brand new Lions. Little Loner with the $10 super chat right now. No question we should have won this game. But at 30 years old, I'm just happy I get to look forward to the upcoming season. We're living in a rare time in Lions history, boys. We're going to be champions. I full-heartedly agree with that. OK Shooter 2 with the $9.99 super chat. 2025, Glasgow is your weak link on the O-line. Re-sign Zeitler. Arnold isn't CB1 yet. Bring in help. Need a pass rush. Hutch and Aleem still give Purdy all day to throw in the NFC title game. And this is where Za'Darius will probably show out a little more next year too, because now he's not gonna be the best guy on the edge.
Double team, that's for sure.
That's gonna go to Aiden, so that should help quite a bit. Randall Boyd just a $1.99 super chat just for fun. Appreciate that. Wait, Anson just conceded to the brand new Lions, Jason
I've
said.
conceded that all year long, but I'm going to tell you right now, if this SOL loss that we watched today, that was SOL. And there's a part of me that, like, I keep hearing my grandfather a couple years before he passed away, he's like, you'll understand one day, Anson. They will break your heart. And that's what they've done our entire lives, but I'm not giving up on them, because I do recognize the new culture that these guys have created. This is a 10-win team for the rest of this decade, in my opinion. But they've got to get it done. They have to get over that hump and not just get to the Super Bowl, but they have to win it. Because, hey, Mike Tomlin got what? 1 championship for his 19 years of making the playoffs straight?
Yeah.
And it's enough to maybe get him fired this offseason.
Oh, I mean, look at Andy Reid before he got his Super Bowls with the Kansas City Chiefs. He got there with the Philadelphia Eagles, and what is he known as? The guy who couldn't win the big game, and now he could win his third consecutive big game. So it comes and it goes pretty fast. This year is over, though. It's in the books. It's history. We're going to look back at it as a wasted 15-2 season. But I think it's a good lesson for everybody who wants to live and die during the regular season now. And any regular season, this team. No. Look at the Commanders lost to the fucking Cowboys. What did we do to the Cowboys? We mopped the floor with them. So those regular season losses, as long as they're used as stepping stones and learning, they're good. They're fine. I'm okay with them. So that's why if the Lions go 12-5 next year, good with it. You know we're going to be in the dance, get hot, win the fucking thing.
Would you feel better if we got beat today versus how we beat ourselves?
You never want to beat yourself. That's why I'm so disappointed in that 4th and 2 play when they had 12 men on the field. Because we've watched this team all year long. We've watched them be regimented. We've watched them not fall into those old habits. We've watched them make errors, but in the course of playing. A missed tackle, an over pursuit, an errant throw, a fumble, like all football things that normally happen. 12 men on the field is not a football thing. That is a coaching thing. That is a mental thing. That is a preparedness thing. That is a personnel thing. And what the irony of it all is, what did they say on the broadcast? Oh, it was so loud that they couldn't communicate.
I heard that.
So you're telling me that our home field advantage was really a disadvantage today?
That was such an SOL moment because realistically, we haven't seen that team that you and I knew so well growing up. Big moments, they're making mistakes. Turning the ball over, getting some sort of a penalty, shooting themselves in the foot. What we saw in that penalty, in that whole moment manifest, was just, it harkened back to yesteryear. And that is what we really thought we had put in our rearview mirror. If it came down to a 4th and 2 that we thought could be the pivotal point in this game, neither of us, nobody in Detroit Lion fandom right now would have said, well, we're going to shoot ourselves in the foot with 12 men on the field?
Yeah.
That's SOL in the face of BNL.
I would have believed Goff's 3 interceptions before I believed a mental 12 men on the field there.
For sure.
If you would have told me before the game, one of these two things is going to happen, I'd be like, there's no way they're going to have a 12 men on the field in a crucial situation.
No fucking way.
Now, Goff throwing 3 interceptions, okay, I've seen it with my own eyes. I've seen him throw 5. It could happen.
And he still did that, and we could have overcome it without that 12 men on the field, like you just said.
Ugh. That's the Vildor off the face mask bounce, man. That's the Vildor off the face mask bounce.
The ghosts of SOL have not been exercised fully yet.
Bruce Farms, a little too cheap there. $5 will not get your chat read. If you're talking shit, you got to spend at least 20. So thanks for the $5 donation for nothing, buddy. Appreciate your charity.
15 more and we'll read it, baby.
Yeah, 15 more. Throw in another 15 and I'll read that up.
It does go to charity, right? Some of it?
Sure. My charity.
Some of it.
Yeah. Charity for get us a new intern or something that we don't pay. Whatever. So thank you guys for being a part of the postgame show all season long. Anson, we got to wrap it up. I don't think there's much more to talk about in this game.
The only thing there is to talk about is the 12 of 16 weeks that you will be doing the postgame show next year.
We'll talk about that next year. As of right now, this is my last postgame show on Woodward Sports. Thank you guys for being a part of it. Yeah, we'll see about that, guys.
Let them know, people.
That.
Hey, listen, brother. If for some reason, I don't believe it, but it is, we've had an amazing run.
Yeah.
We've gone from your couch and winless for an entire calendar year to a year that we all felt we were going to win it. Easily the best regular season in Lions history. But this thing that you've built, we all appreciate so much. From everybody at the network to me after every Lions game and to, honestly, all the people that follow this thing. You've heard it over and over again today.
Yeah,
What's been
cool.
built here and how much it provides for us. It's going to be hard to not be talking Lions for the next few months, but we'll be back into it in March and April.
What, you don't think we're going to be talking Lions?
We're going to be talking losing Lions.
You smoking crack?
We'll be talking losing Lions, but we'll be back into the fun stuff back in March, talking about who we're going to be drafting and all of that stuff. But I, as your friend and as somebody here at the network with you, thank you, brother.
Yeah, for sure, man. Thank you for being a part of this whole time. I mean, like you said, we started on the couch with 3 people watching, giving away T-shirts if you guessed the score correctly. And then we went to giving away $10,000 if you got the score correctly.
That happened.
And we did that this year. Lots of fun stuff. Everybody that's been a part of the chat. And I'm really glad we built a place for all the other teams to come and talk shit.
For real.
Listen, they're not coming because we're not relevant. They're only here because they think that they're doing something.
Well, but at the same time,
nice. It's really
not
a compliment.
just the Lions who are the kings of the North, but Woodward is relevant.
Oh, we're the social media kings of anybody.
And shout out to you guys for coming here, because as much as we give you guys a hard time, you're super welcome. We love the banter. We love the competition.
Just know your fucking place, Vikings.
That too.
Yeah, we love. I mean, listen. That's what sports are. Like, even in high school, you're known as the draft heckler, or you're known as the heckler, right? In
Detroit heckler.
Because you could talk a ton
I
of
don't
shit.
even want to talk to the draft heckler, bro, for like a week.
Me, growing up playing high school sports, I was the kid that was getting under your skin and having your best player try to swing on me.
Bill Laimbeer?
Because I love Billy. I love Billy Laimbeer.
His shoes.
So yeah, that's. I love the shit talk. It's what I live for. So when Green Bay gives me 3 million views and a nice little paycheck because they're all hate watching my videos, love you, bitches.
You are truly a Detroit bad boy in every sense of the style, from success to grit to loyalty.
One of the best quotes ever was in the Bad Boys 30 for 30. It was Bill Laimbeer. Somebody had to wear the black hat, and we were comfortable doing it.
Hell yeah, bro.
Somebody has to wear the black hat of Detroit sports media, and I'm comfortable doing it. 97 won the ticket. Y'all can fucking get it. Anybody standing in Woodward's way, y'all can fucking get it. I don't care. I'm not here to be liked by anybody. I'm here to change the fucking game, and check the stats. We have.
Real talk.
We all have. From Kool-Aid to Chase to Neil Rule to Darren McCarty to Braylon Edwards to Ryan Ermanni to even Maz, I'll include in this conversation.
Shout out Maz.
To KG, to the Gimp Chris that was in the TD booth,
K9.
to Nick, to
Heavyweights,
to Spenny. We've changed the game. We literally have. Look at what all the other big dogs are trying to do now. They're trying to copy us. They're trying to copy exactly what we do. And look at all the people. When they want to come talk shit to Detroit, who they coming? Because you know who represents this city? There's only one network.
Woodward Sports.
And that's Woodward Sports. We're out of here. You guys have a great night. We're got to go smoke this blunt and get over this loss.
Much love.